everybody. It's Scotty T from Your Comedy Minute. And I have a fantastic comedian, actress, author, mother, mom. Kerri Louise is here. Kerri, how are you?
Good, how are you? Wow, I'm exhausted just hearing you introduce myself.
Hey, it's a lot. We got a lot to cover. We got to get going.
Oh my God, I know.
You asked me how I am. I feel like a woodpecker in a lumber yard.
Oh, okay. That's not a good feeling, I don't think.
Well, I'm giddy. Whenever I get a woman of your stature on, I get a little giddy.
Oh, well, that's good.
I'm giddy. All right, so let's start. You're in New York, is that correct?
That is correct.
But you weren't born and raised in New York, were you?
That is also correct. Born
Do you
and
want to
raised
tell
in
people? Do you want to tell people where you were born and raised? Give us a little
born and raised
backstory there.
born and raised in Boston, well, south of Boston, a small town called Easton, and I started my comedy career in Boston
I noticed the
eons
Red Sox.
ago.
I noticed the Red. How long ago?
Eons.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've been doing comedy for a long time, and I noticed the Red Sox hat. By the way, I'm an Orioles fan. Uh, when you started, and I'm not sure, was it comedy first or acting first?
Comedy.
Okay,
But I wanted to do acting.
okay, all right.
But I've always secretly wanted to try acting. I wanted to try, and I couldn't do it in high school because I was involved in three sports. I couldn't do it in college because I was also involved in two sports.
Okay,
And acting 101 kept on getting filled up because the seniors would take it before. And
okay.
by the time I was a senior, I had to do student teaching, so I was busy with that and busy with my sorority. So I could never take acting 101. But my sorority was running a beauty pageant and they needed contestants. And I said, "Oh, I'll do it because I was going to do a monologue, but no one does monologues. But I'm like, but I love comedy. So it was either going to be a monologue or a comedy. So I did comedy because I loved it so much. And I wrote up, you needed like 2 minutes and 30 seconds worth of jokes. And I ended up winning. I wasn't,
Wow.
and I wasn't beautiful at all. So I think my talent
Oh,
was
stop it, stop it.
did
You're
it. No,
beautiful as all get out.
look, I worked on this.
You're
Took a
beautiful.
lot of
Now
work.
let's move on because
I was no, I
uh,
was a fat, ugly field hockey chick.
you're describing
And
me.
I had short,
You're
short hair,
describing me to a T.
and I had short hair. And when I was doing the contest, I had Delta Zeta shaved in my head. My hair was so short.
Okay, well, the question I was going to ask is, was there a catalyst? And I guess we got the answer there. Was there a catalyst to something that you wanted to do comedy, or was it like for me? I was a class clown in high school, and I've
Yeah,
always been an idiot.
right.
Was
Of
that
course
it?
you
Was
were.
that what's that?
You said I've always been an idiot. And I said, of course you were.
Yeah, what kind of idiot are you? Why is there two kinds? Is there two kinds?
That wasn't my catalyst. I secretly wanted to do some form of things like that. But if I was not the class clown, I get that question all the time. And the reason why is because I played three sports. If I was class clown, I would be had detention. If I had detention, I couldn't practice. If I couldn't practice, I couldn't play.
I had 44 detentions, 44 hours of detention my senior year.
That's yeah.
My
Hence you
dad,
behind a microphone right now.
my dad wouldn't come to the school anymore. He'd send my mother in. I'll give you this. He used to say all the time, "You might as well stay in trouble because you sure as hell can't keep out of it."
And look where it got you. It got you
Oh,
a
hey,
career.
I'm here with you, aren't I?
Of course. Yeah.
I've
See,
had
look where
George
it got
Wallace
you.
on the show. I've had some big stars like you on the show. I'm lucky as heck.
That's right.
But let's move on because you've done a lot of TV. You've been on, Comedy Central, Showtime, all kinds of TV shows. Last Comic Standing. Name it, Oprah. All these shows. But where I got to know you was that I mentioned having some big stars. I had Carol Montgomery on the show,
Yeah, love
and
her.
Carol's a wonderful lady. And she had a series, or has a series called Funny Women of a Certain Age that was on Showtime. And she shared with me that it was going to get re-released on Comedy Dynamics.
Yes.
And so I said, you know what, I'm going to try and get all the people from the show. And I thought we were going to do something together. We still may. But that's how I came across you. And then, lo and behold, I went and saw your new series, your new show with your husband, and your first female guest, Carol
Was.
Montgomery.
Yeah.
You want to tell the people it's called a
Yep.
couple of
Yeah, that was a
laughs, and
funny
it's with
show.
your husband,
Carol was a great guest. It was so funny.
right?
Yes,
And your show is called a couple of laughs with your husband, Tom Cotter, who's also a comedian.
right.
And
Yes. So yeah, it's not called a ton of laughs. It's called a couple of laughs
kind
because he
of like
pisses me
kind of
off.
like this kind of like this show.
Yeah, he pisses me off half the time, so we end up fighting. It's a good show. We do gripe of the week. We talk about, what gripes us. So it's like it's a little bit of marriage stuff, but it's also about what. So it's a great place to come and blow off steam, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and we do video shares and we talk about what's going on in the world. We'll have the subject of the week, and then we promote where we're going to be, and it just gives us a little bit of clips, more content. Everybody's looking for content, and we're promoting shows all the time. We might as well do it together and have a show. So,
Well, I
and we
say,
like it. We like that it's live because it's interactive. So we like when our fans chime in when it's
you know,
live. So that's fun. And then it's going to be on Spotify soon. So you'll be
okay.
able to listen to it. But we want it to be a part instead of like everybody that has a podcast, everyone has and so we wanted it to be slightly different, and that's how we're doing it different, that it's a live show on Wednesday.
Live on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. But you may move it to 9 or 9:30 when people
Right.
get in bed and are comfortable and naked.
Right. We want people in bed and naked when they watch us.
See, I did a little homework. I
You
should
did
get some.
homework, yeah.
Well, but you keep bashing me, you just keep bashing me. Um,
I
lem-
keep bashing you.
yeah, my God, if I had feelings, they'd be hurt. I'm telling
What?
you.
How am I bashing you?
Oh, everybody has a podcast, and look where it got me. Uh,
I
I got it. I got it. You know what?
I
Hey,
am not bashing
you
you.
know what I told Carol?
Those are compliments.
You know what I told Carol Montgomery, and I'll say it to you. I fought bigger girls just to get to the fight. I'm not afraid of you. I'll roll you out like wholesale carpet. I'll flip you like a
Was
cheap dog.
Carol Montgomery giving you shit too?
Oh my God, she hated me. She called me an alcoholic. She called me an alcoholic.
Really? Are
Oh,
you?
stop it. Stop it. We're talking about you.
Are you an alcoholic?
Besides comedy, you're an author. You have a book called Mean Mommy. You have another book called Harry the Elephant Has an Allergy.
That's
And you
right.
have a brand new book that you put out in December. Well, go ahead, pull them out. See,
So
there's the new one.
if you give a mom a glass of wine, it's a parody to If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. It's a children's book. Um,
Right,
and it's just like it parallels the whole thing because the mouse follows or goes to different things, and this is the mom going to
right.
different things and getting drunk with wine.
I'm looking to find my girlfriend a good breakfast wine.
Ooh, breakfast wine. I love that.
Something that
We
goes
can
with
market
eggs.
it. Let's collab. Let's collab. You do
Something
your breakfast
something
wine
that goes.
and we'll sell it with
Maybe
this
we can
book.
release a bottle of a breakfast wine that
That
goes
will sell.
with eggs. It goes with
Yeah,
pancakes.
moms need to drink at breakfast time. Um,
Yeah, there you
Harry the
go.
elephant has an allergy, and this is about an elephant allergic to nuts who finds a chicken allergic to eggs, who has a friend, a cow who's allergic to milk, and a bee allergic to honey. It's crazy.
Okay. Do you know?
It's
Hey, you keep setting me up. Do you know where a bee keeps his stinger at night?
where?
In his honey.
That's funny. Sounds like my husband.
Thank you very much.
See,
And
I'm
Mean
giving you
Mommy, is that
compliments.
you?
I'm not giving you crap.
Oh,
And this is
hang
Mean
on.
Mommy,
Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see if this is working.
Kerri
Is that
Louise.
you? Is that you?
This is me
Wow. Look at you.
yelling at
Kind of
my
look like,
kids.
you kind of look like Pink.
Oh, I love pink.
You look
Yeah,
like
so
Pink.
this book is all about, it's got some mummy advice, but it's all about me in the comedy trenches, married to another man who's in the comedy trenches and
Yeah.
trying to bring up twins and then twins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, don't
and
you do
another kid.
something that you actually have, be counting him, it's another child. You have three or four?
I have four counting my husband, three
Right, right,
boys,
right.
four counting my husband.
Okay. If it's okay with you, because again, I'm just trying, I'm not comedians that inspired you when you were younger.
Um, Well, so when during that time when I was in college, I was binge watching before binge watching was a thing, VH1 and MTV. And Rosie O'Donnell was the host of VH1 Comedy Spotlight. I would watch that at nauseum and I loved her because she was a woman. I never saw that many, she was the only woman and mostly it was just guys on the show. Sometimes they would sprinkle in some women, but there wasn't that many. And that's why I loved, so she was my first inspiration when I was trying to do stand up. And then, especially when I decided to do stand up comedy for that contest. So she was the first, but, years ago when I was little, I was sneaking in to watch Saturday Night Live and I wasn't allowed to. But this was I was little, I didn't really know, but I saw Roseanne, the Dana Dabana, Roseanne,
Gilda Radner,
Gilda Radner do her little
Rosanna Dana.
Rosanna bit, and I was in awe. I'm like, what
Yeah.
is that girl doing? What is that? And I wanted that. So that was a little spark and inspiration, but I didn't know exactly what I was doing.
Okay.
Um, and and then years ago, I started watching TV and Carol Burnett when she did her skits and sketches, they were all funny and great. In fact, one of
Right.
my skits and sketches I'm going to save for the Comedy Minute. But the end, I had to wait to the end. The end was the most important for me because I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah.
remember that show. On the end, she would be gorgeous. She would dress up in a
Yeah.
gown, her makeup, and just out of all her costumes, and she would do question and answer with the audience.
I
And
remember that.
that was my favorite part. And what that was basically stand up and improv. Question and I was like, how does she answer those questions so funny? How can she be
Yeah.
so funny? And again, I did not know what it was, but that was my early spark of, and I was inspired by her I didn't know what it was,
Yeah.
but I knew that that's what I wanted. And I
Okay.
remember I love the end. I had to watch the end.
Do you have comedians that you like today?
Yes, David Tell.
Okay.
He's always a
Like
comedian.
David Tell's been around a long time. I like Dave.
My husband,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. You know what
Uh,
I was thinking, and it's up to you, and maybe you can talk them into it. Have you guys one together, and you can
yeah,
promote your thing if you'd
you'll
like.
have a couple of laughs on your show.
Well, somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to try and interject something in here. There you go. I
Yeah,
got you.
so yeah, I'm inspired by all comedians, even the young ones. I teach
Yeah.
comedy, so I love watching the young comics, and it's a I'm inspired by everybody. I grew up. This was in Boston. This was my pledge class. I call it the pledge class. You know, a bunch of the comedians that you grew up
Sure.
with.
Sure.
And it's Bobby Kelly, Dane Cook, Bill Burr.
Yeah. He was just on the Good Morning Mayor this morning.
Really, yeah, Sue
Bill
Costello.
Burr was
I
on Good
mean,
Morning America this morning. Yeah.
it it Boston gives out lots of great comedians.
Yeah.
And I love them all, and they're all different. And Dane Cook, a lot of people,
No,
say he's
he's
not funny. I thought he's more of a he's not a he's more of a performer. He's just such a great performer. And I knew he was going places way
yeah.
back when we were doing open mics at the 99 in Bill Ricca. And
Yeah. Okay.
everyone, when you're in your pledge class, everybody knows their act, and we know who's funny and what gets laughed. No one was getting laughs. Billy Burr went up, nothing. I went up, nothing. And we were like just laughing at no one.
Dane
And
Cook.
so usually I leave when I'm done. Sometimes I leave, sometimes I'm not. I'm like, we all stayed because we all can't wait to see Dane Cook because he was always going on last. No one wanted to follow him. That's how good he was. We couldn't wait to see him eat it. We couldn't wait to see him die. And we knew that this was the night that he is gonna die because everybody died. It was the worst. It was a Christmas time. It was worse. Finally,
Okay.
Dane gets up on stage, right? And we're all like, watch this, watch. He's gonna
And he
for the
killed.
first time.
And he
So he
killed.
doesn't, this is what he does. Big lesson in comedy right now for me. Anyway, this was one of my big lessons. He doesn't do his act like everybody else. He gets up there, scolds the audience, tells them, these guys they're great. I know they're funny, blah blah blah. You're gonna laugh at me because I'm just gonna sing Christmas carols. He didn't even change the words, nothing. The way he sang them with his body and with his energy, they were laughing their asses off, and we were all dumbfounded. We were like, I can't believe that little asshole. He still can make people laugh.
Little
At that,
asshole.
it was that point. It was that point where I hated him and loved him at the same time.
I've interviewed a lot of people, and it's funny how many have mentioned Dane Cook.
Yeah,
I'm
he
serious.
worked
I'm
one of the
serious.
hardest working men in he got where he was because he worked really hard and he's funny.
Do you know Carol? I hate to keep bringing her up, but Carol Montgomery mentioned him and said that he blew up because of MySpace.
Right. Well, you know why he blew up because of MySpace? Because I went out to LA. I was managed at the time, same manager as Bill Burr, and I was staying with Bill Burr. And we all went to go see Dane, our friend, and we were all going out to eat afterwards. And Dane's like, I'll be there, I'll be there. He killed. Then he's collecting AOL emails, collecting them from everybody. And we're all like,
Yeah.
whatever, we're going out to eat. He's like, I'll be there in a second. I just got to get these emails into my computer. He sat there on the street
Yeah.
on the sidewalk putting things in and never really even made it to dinner. He and all those emails he
Yeah.
when MySpace hit, he had all those emails, all those fans because he would answer them back.
Yeah. Carol was saying that, the algorithm and stuff, he had figured it out.
Well, he figured it out that way. He had a big fan base
Yeah.
because every night he collected emails.
Okay.
He worked his
So
ass off.
are you collect emails now?
No,
No,
I
I got to tell you, and you go so fast, but I got to tell you, I have your email address and you email me, and every one of them says, keep laughing at the bottom. And I just love that. I think that's great.
oh, thank you. That's my signature. Thank you. I worked hard on that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and here's my little thing. I did music my whole life. If you go to my Facebook, you'll see all kinds of artists I've been with. And one thing that I hold on to, you may like it, may not. It's a song by Squeeze, and in the song he says, "What crumbs of joy can I steal from this day?" And I always hold on to that.
That's that's
And
really
and
nice.
I'll be
I
honest,
like that.
you're my crumb of joy today. You're making me laugh, and I love it. You really are. Let's
That's
go
great.
on. Enough sucking up. I sucked up enough. You're not going to be nice to me anyway.
I've been nice this whole
Oh,
time.
stop. Now stop yelling at me. All right, here we go. You've performed all over the place: Hong Kong, Shanghai, Greece, Turkey, all over the world. Do you have a favorite place to play?
I just got back from working with the troops in Hawaii, Guam, and Korea. And those were great places.
Okay.
And Guam, their claim to fame is they have the last and only standing Kmart. They all bragged. Did you see our Kmart? Did you see our Kmart? We have our Kmart. I'm like, that's great. I,
You didn't go? I was going to say, did you
I
go?
wanted to go. We didn't have time to go.
Get the
We
blue light
we uh
special?
we toured the naval base. It was great. And then I went to Aruba, which I love, and their claim to fame is they have the last and only standing Radio Shack. I am full of
It's like
knowledge.
a throwback in time.
I know. I
Radio
know.
Shack and Kmart, there are going to be people go, what the hell are they?
I I loved Hong Kong. I really loved Hong Kong. And performing in
Okay.
Hong Kong was great. And that city is amazing. So
No
efficient too.
language barrier there, because I've done a lot with people from China and different places. That, like, I just had Scott Shannon on, who's in Italy, and he does his shows in Italian, but yet now he's doing shows in English. And I've had people on where there's no language.
Oh
Have you
no,
ever
because
had
we
that?
worked for the English speaking people and then we went on a tour and we worked with the expats. So they're all people working over there that spoke English.
Okay. Um, a favorite show that you've done all these years, and then of course the follow up, a least favorite show where things didn't go so good.
Hmm. Can I do my least favorite? Because that's what I remember. Isn't that funny
Yeah,
that I
no,
remember
you know
that?
what? And I'm an idiot. Well, we've already established I'm an asshole. That I love the least. I don't give a shit about the favorite
Right,
show.
right, exactly. And those are the only ones we remember. I had
Yeah,
plenty of good
no.
shows.
I will say this. Do you know? Have you ever heard of Stacy Pressman?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Stacy Pressman said to me, and it's one of my favorite lines out of all these I've done. I said about her favorite show, and she goes, "Oh, there's so many."
yeah.
I always held on to that. She is funny as heck.
Oh, my worst show, I was early in my career, and I was doing the Chamber of Commerce. They were all people my age now, over 50. Gray hair, real over 50 though. Priests were in my audience, and I just didn't navigate it well. And I didn't have enough comedy material to navigate it well. I was young, and I didn't have enough experience either. So I ate it and did really bad. But the priests were laughing, so I kept on going. Um, and I got off stage, and some woman just looked at me. She didn't even have any words. She's like, "Oh, you were, just like that." And I'm like, "Oh my God!" And I felt really bad. I didn't mean to hurt people's feelings, and but I wanted to get paid because had to drive all the way to Connecticut from Boston. And this is what pissed me off the most was the headliner of the show was supposed to pay me. And I was looking for him and I couldn't find him. And as I was trying to look for him, because I wanted to get that check and get out of there, I couldn't find him. Every time I was looking for him, all these other people would come up to me and say, "You were okay. I thought you were funny. Don't worry," and then patronizing me. I'm like, I didn't even want to hear anything, good or bad. And some people were like, "You were kind of dirty." And I just didn't hear what I finally found him. He was hiding in the bathroom, in the men's bathroom, because he didn't want to look at me. He was embarrassed to look at me, whatever. What an asshole. I'm a headliner now. I would never have done that. If I had to pay I would give them advice. I teach now, so that's probably why. But I would never hide. I would say, "You probably want to get out of here. Here's your check. If you want to call me, I can give you some feedback. If you don't, I understand." I would have nurtured them.
Wow.
He was
Wow.
such an asshole. I had to walk into the men's room, make sure no one else was there. Walk into the men's room and go, "What are you doing? Why you pay me? You have to pay me." Worse.
Wow. No,
Worst
and
gig.
I thought you were going to tell me that he didn't pay you or wasn't going to pay you because he didn't have the money.
No, he was just embarrassed. He was just being an asshole to me because I didn't do well on stage.
Wow, that's incredible. And look at you now.
Yeah, I don't even know who that was. I don't even remember who that was. I I hope he hears this and calls me and apologizes. He's probably
Yeah,
not
that's
doing
that's
comedy
so
anymore.
screwed up.
Yeah, it is screwed up, right? I mean, help a fellow comic. You've probably been there. He's probably been there many times. We've
Uh,
all
This
eaten it. We've all
interview,
had that gig.
this interview. I'm flying on fumes right now. One dead baby joke, and I screwed everything up.
What is my best show? Best show?
No, I thought you were going to
Woman of
give
a
me.
Certain Age is basically one of the top ones.
No,
Funny
no,
Woman
no.
of a
You're
Certain Age.
okay. As far as your favorite show,
Cyrus is my favorite show.
yeah,
I love that show because I love Carol.
you were
Carol
killer.
made the green room like it was home. You didn't feel any egos. You didn't feel nervous. I mean, you were nervous. Yeah, it was TV, but Carol was like, "Say what you want, do what you want. It's 12 minutes. We're gonna edit it." No, she made it so fun and easy. I love Carol.
Well,
She
again, I'm
nurtured you.
not. I'm not trying to name drop, but Vanessa Hollingshead was the one, and Vanessa's the same way. She just loves her and had nothing but praise for her.
Oh yeah, and I did it. I did the show with her too. So it was all
Yeah,
my
you just
friends.
did. You just did one recently with them, didn't you?
Yeah, yes. Well, not
Well,
so much,
yeah,
but
maybe not.
yeah, but they're all my friends that were there, so that was very comfortable too. It wasn't like these shows where you gotta do 5 minutes, you go over and like it's usually run by a guy who doesn't think women are funny, and it's like, why are we even here? Bookers don't realize that if you treat people nice, dust us off and put them on the top shelf, then our jokes are gonna sell.
I make, and you can check this out. You can go back and look. I said many times I would do anything to have nothing but women on the show.
Oh, see,
I
that's
love the dynamics of men and women, and I work better. I agree with you. I agree with you. Well, that's why I have had. If you look, I just had all the women from the Black Women in Comedy Laugh Fest that was in New York. Joanna
and
Briley and all those women. I had 20 on.
just the way when we first off screen, you said, "All right, number one, I want you to have a good time. Number two, you can say what you want. Number three, I mean, you were so comfortable and this is why this is a great show right now."
Well, thank you, thank you. It's what I want. Listen, what I said in the beginning is what I meant.
I
Because
know,
you
but
know
like
what?
you,
What I'm, and that's why I
not every,
love what like Missy Hall and her husband do the hallway, which is similar to what you and your husband are doing.
yeah,
And I believe that good karma, like Missy and her husband, because Missy had a good time on the show, her and her husband are going to come on. I'd love for you and Tom to come on. If
yeah,
nothing else, maybe you send me some other female comics because how do you think I got George Wallace to come on? You treat people the right way, you do the right thing.
yeah, yeah.
It's
It's
taken me
right,
it's
exactly.
taken me
And
62 years to learn that, but
yeah, me
I
same.
got her. I got her. I'm 62. I got her.
But yeah, but like people don't realize that they're going, if you want success, you have to let those people shine.
Yeah. Well, I
And
don't
if you,
understand it. Men think they're so funny and they pound their chest. And if you didn't see Carol, she said outright, her line was something that I think because I have a bigger dick than they do.
yeah, so
She
funny.
was hilarious. The guy tries to buy her a drink. Fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
She doesn't take shit from anybody.
I know, I know. And when I wish I knew then what I know now. Obviously, everybody does that, but like I wouldn't have taken all that personally, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I was late to a gig. This was years ago, and I had to pull over and find a payphone to call him and tell him I'm going to be late because there was tons of traffic. He screamed at me. I know, granted, he was busy, trying to get the place
Yeah.
packed, and
Still.
he just get here when you get here. And I'm like, oh my God, I was so nervous. I was speeding. Then I ended up getting a parking ticket, and all because I let this guy get to me when I should have said it's really never. It's not even about me. He was busy, but I was young and I just wanted to please, 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 please. It wasn't until
Yeah.
I'm 50. Now I don't give a fuck. It takes a while to get that
Yeah.
wisdom.
Well, and for me, not that it's about me at all, but just that you do stop. I stopped caring about the algorithm. I stopped caring about, the videos do what they do. And I do the best I can. As long as I do the best I can and you have a good time, hopefully we make something that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You could get killed with these algorithms because once you learn it, it changes.
Well, and you do. And by the way, I will put all the links to you. You have a huge following on Instagram, TikTok, your YouTube channel, 41,000 or something subscribers. You have an amazing following, and I'll put the links to this
Thank you.
with this
Yeah.
interview so everyone can go check you out. Besides your website, which has all your tour dates, you have an amazing website. You've done so much, and it is an honest to God honor to have you here. I mean it. I,
Oh,
I can't thank you enough for being here.
thank you. Thanks for
I'm
having me.
so I'm so blessed, and I think that we unearthed in this interview what it is, and it took me. I'm being serious. I was an arrogant asshole when I started your Comedy Minute 5 years ago. I thought, oh, I'm going to get on there, people are going to love me. Well, a couple years, I realized I better start getting some other people. I'm drowning, not waving. I need help here. I need help. They don't think I'm funny. Do you ever
It's,
get that? Do you ever sometimes, I mean, because I've had a lot of comedians on and we talk about that, where you think, I'm just gonna quit. This is just terrible.
oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Every
hard
day.
sometimes.
Every day you want to quit. Every day. Yeah, sometimes you're like, I'm just not inspired. Like I'm just done. I can't even be creative anymore. I'm just so tired. I don't even know where. And then you ride the wave and you
Yeah.
wake up and then you feel like yourself again.
There's hills and valleys. You know what? I've had a lot of comedians and we talk about this where, uh, oh, you're a comedian. Tell me a joke. And there's times it's like, I don't want to tell you. I don't feel funny today. I'm just not funny today.
Yeah,
Leave me
or
alone.
yeah, they don't get it. Like, tell me a joke. Like, you're not going to be funny when they're waiting for you to be funny. Like, that's will never happen. It's always the illusion of
I'm
surprise.
I'm still waiting for it to happen.
Yeah. And then they'll say, "Oh, I got a joke for you." And
Oh
then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they'll
Right,
tell
right,
the longest, stupidest, unfunny
right.
joke. And then they're like, "You can use it. You're welcome."
Well, and what I love is when they go, well, let me tell you a joke, and they start and they're about 30 seconds or 10 seconds in, and I already know the punchline, and I'm
Oh
standing there
yeah,
like, just get to it, just please.
I
And then
know.
and
Stop.
then there's no way out because it's like you didn't like it. No, I heard it before. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Why didn't you stop me? Because and there's no win there. You can't win.
What about when they go on and on and on, and then they forget the punchline,
Well, here's
and you know
another
the
one.
joke, and you're like, you're telling it all wrong.
I got another one for you. Well, look, I don't know if I did. I did my very best to cover as much as I can. If I missed something, please, again, we'll have the link to your website and everything. Check out all your tour dates because you're still playing all over. And, well, heck, you just got back from where did you say? Oh, Guam?
Working for the troops. Yeah, we went
Cool.
to Guam, Hawaii, Korea, and then I had like a week off, not even. And I went to Aruba. So that Aruba
Okay,
is one
yeah,
of my
that's
favorite
where
places.
Tom's in Aruba or was in Aruba, right?
Yeah, yeah, we were there together. So the
Oh,
whole family
okay.
turned it into a family vacation.
Well, on your latest episode, which just dropped, what season one, episode 24,
Right.
because I watched some of it today,
Sorry you
and
had to watch that, but go ahead.
what what's wrong with you? I'm like you. I love comedy. I love.
I'll give you your 20 minutes back.
No,
You,
I actually went back and watched like 22 and some of the. Well, I found Carol, so I
yeah.
watched some stuff.
Yeah.
But no, and you guys are just getting. I think it's going to be great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're working out the it kinks.
Yeah, yeah, and it takes a bit. Well, you guys been married a long time, but now doing this is a whole different thing for you guys, probably, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Working
it's
together.
different
Yeah.
than the stage and doing stand up. You guys, it's different.
Yep.
Um, well, like I said, I want to make sure we cover everything, and then, as you said, you were saving something special for what I call your comedy minute. But make sure we cover everything first, because I want you to be happy. That's my goal.
Yeah. You're so nice. You're so sweet. I can't believe you thought that I was giving you shit. Um,
Look, why
I
should you
was
be?
a little
Why should
tongue
you
in
be
cheek.
any different than any other woman? I always do this joke. Okay, I do this joke. What's the difference between a beautiful woman and a sexy woman?
One's meaner.
How would I know? Women like that don't talk to me. Anyway,
Uh,
did
okay.
we, did
So
we cover
I think
everything?
we covered everything. Yeah, go to
Okay.
my
So
website.
let me do a formal introduction and you do for me whatever you got. It's okay, however long it runs. Kerri Louise, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
Okay. So I told you that Carol Burnett was one of my inspirations, and the best thing that I really loved about her show, her variety show, was at the end when she did her stand up.
Right.
Basically, it was question and answer, but it was basically stand up comedy, and I just loved it. But one
Right.
of my favorite, very favorite skits that she did was when she was in that big, huge drapery, the
Yes.
Southern Belle,
Southern Belle.
she
She's
had to
got the
quickly change, so she put this big drapery on her long shoulders and tied it up. And one of the Southern Belle draperies that you see
right.
in those old-fashioned houses. She's on the top of the steps and she comes down. Now, this is the biggest, longest laugh of any sitcom or any variety show I have ever seen. The
I
longest
remember.
laugh she got. And the timing with her was amazing. She walks down the stairs, they're still laughing, and then they wait for the audience to die down, and the guy, one of uh, her comedian friends says, I forget which one of the guys.
Tim
Um,
Conway, Tim
yeah, Tim Conway, maybe. I
or
love,
Harvey Keitel.
or Harvey. Yeah,
Harvey
I think it was
Keitel.
Harvey.
Yeah.
And oh God, the three of them were great. And he goes, "Love your dress or your gown," and she's like, "Thank you. I found it in the window, and I couldn't resist." It kills me every single time. And then the audience starts roaring and laughing again. And the way she says it with her fake Southern accent is amazing. Her timing is impeccable, and she is still working. She's still
Yeah.
working. 91 years old. She's on the Apple show.
Yeah.
She was incredible in that.
Yeah.
What's that show called? Do you know what that
Well,
show?
I got to tell you, and I
Royale.
not as good as you though.
Oh, hopefully I'll be working as long as Carol.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had a wonderful time. I
Me too.
think you're phenomenal.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was my
This was
pleasure.
more informative than, funny, but
Well, it's a balance, but it's kind of like you and Tom do.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what I'm just doing the best I can, trying to bring joy to people's lives.
same here. And I
What
and
crumbs
if
of
you
joy
like
can I steal
comedy,
from this day? Hopefully, somebody will watch this and enjoy. People maybe that know you and see, wow, I didn't know that, or different,
yeah, yeah. I
different
mean,
things.
yeah, because if you this is like the inside of, behind the comedian. A lot
Yeah,
of
I try,
times, yeah, a lot of
except when
times
someone's
dark.
mean to me, like you were.
Yeah, I was so mean, real mean.